Hello everybody, welcome back. I hope you're doing great. So usually when I'm like this, it's a reaction, but not this time. I usually when I do like the longish videos, I use the other tripod, but because I'm doing something else after and I want to use this tripod, I was like, you know what, I'm not gonna take the other one and just keep switching. So I'm just gonna use this one and we're just gonna have this set up for a longish type video and those random ones that I make all of a sudden. So here you go, that's why. So this is no reaction. This video, it is, I always say this, but I always get like the random ideas, mainly because I'm on like TikTok or something and I watch something and then it keeps appearing on your For You page and it's like, I have opinions about it and I want to talk about this. So this is what this is, which is why it's very random. But honestly, I don't think I'm the only one that is kind of worried about this artist and what is going to happen with her. So I don't think I'm the only one that is feeling this way from what I have been seeing while I was looking for information and all of that. So we're going to talk about this for a bit and yeah, just gonna do that. So to start off, okay, before I tell you, I'm gonna put her name probably somewhere, but so you'll probably know the famous Survivor shows. We have been seeing those a lot, and I feel the past year probably more. We have been seeing a bunch more and all different. They keep changing things up. They try to keep making them very unique in a way and try to make it different from the other ones, but it's basically a Survivor show. It's basically the same thing, okay? And I feel like since Produce 101 happened, that just was the stepstone to all these Survivor shows happening. Now there were some before Produce 101, but since that one, it just has been one after the other, and how they use that to form groups. And these groups grow very quickly. Some of them take time, some of them don't fully work, but you all need to know that these Survivor shows are basically promotion. Let it be the trainee or an idol that goes there. It's promotion. The company sends them trainee. If they make it into a lineup, great. If they don't and they go back to the company, they usually debut them very quickly, let it be alone or in a group, because they kind of build a fan base while being on the show that they're hoping that it comes back with them and debut or anything that they do with them. You know, the fan base is already there. When it comes to like the idol groups that make it or not into a lineup, it's basically the same thing, but they bring that fan base to already a group, so they usually do a comeback very quickly. These kind of groups do disband after the contract is done. They usually try to keep the group together, but most of the time it doesn't work and they do end up disbanding. Now, they always say that they always consider themselves a group, and some of them even have done stuff years after. I think i.o.i had a reunion, 101 also had a reunion, so they still consider themselves a group, and they do try once in a while to do something together when, you know, the schedules are able to, you know, kind of be able to work together and all of that. One of the first Survivor shows that I feel like got very popular was Produce 101, the girl version, the first one. And this show was the one that formed i.o.i, which I just mentioned. And they were together for over a year and a half, if I remember. The contract wasn't that long, but they were very popular. They definitely released a good chunk of music. I thought they would release more, honestly, but it was a good chunk of music that they released, and either way, everything that they released was hit. People really loved this group. They went on with their careers after they disbanded. Some of them debuted in groups, some of them debuted solo, some of them even went into acting more. But the whole point is that they all already had a fan base that came from the show to the group, that followed them to the company that they were under and what they were doing. And this is where I feel that sometimes this doesn't happen, because I have seen members from this group that the fan base is there, but once they disband and go into the companies, the fan base is kind of not the same as when they were in the group, and it's not as strong as, you know, when they were in the group, because people just follow the one that they like most of the time. You know, it's not like they disband and they follow everything that all the members are doing. No, they have a favorite one. People just follow that one most of the time. So if the member is not the most popular one in the group, the fan base is not gonna be as strong when the group disbands and that member goes to debut solo or do whatever they decide to do after. So it is very hit or miss, I feel like. But for the most part, from what I have seen, usually when they disband, they do great. The fan base do kind of follow them, but there has been some times that I'm like, this member was very popular in the group, why isn't it more popular now, right? A case, Wiki Becky, Wiki Make, got the name, and then there's an airplane. It's a Wiki Meki. They had 1 or 2 members that went on i.o.i, or I think one was on i.o.i and the other one was on the show. I'm not remembering, but there were 2 members, and even with that, they never took off. It's been not too long since they disbanded, but the group never took off. They had their comebacks. They were good, they were amazing, but the attention wasn't there. Even if the member was on i.o.i, but a fan base, it wasn't as strong as the company probably thought it would be. And it didn't work out. They released a lot of music, they try a lot of things, they try a lot of styles, a lot of different type of music, and a few of them stick with them and they kept doing it, you know, not the same thing but the style, but still it wasn't enough for the public to keep attention to them, and eventually they did disband. That's what I mean by is hit or miss. The main one I want to talk about, which is the whole point of this video after this long intro, is Jeon Somi. Hopefully I'm saying her name right. She was, I still think i.o.i still says they're a group, so I'm gonna say is a member of i.o.i, and she got first place in the show. She was the center of the group, everything. She was very popular. She has a huge fan base when she was on the group, and people love her bubbly and funny personality. She is super talented as well, and now I feel like the company she's under is doing absolutely nothing with her. It's not, they're doing stuff, but at the same time they're not doing enough, and I feel like her popularity has definitely gone down little by little. Does she still have fans? Yes. Is it as huge as when she was in i.o.i? Honestly, I don't think so, and probably I just feel it's partially blamed the label that is not doing anything with her. So we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about what I think of it, and you guys can also let me know in the comments below what you guys think about the whole thing, because it's I don't know exactly what this label is doing with her. I really don't know. So before we get into that, I do want to talk to you a little bit more about her and the label that she's under and her comebacks. And when we get to her comebacks, from there we're gonna jump into the whole point of this video. Jeon Somi, that is her name, and she's 24 years old. From what I saw, she's from Ontario, Canada, and before she actually got into the label that she's under now, she was actually a trainee under i.o.i Entertainment. She was part of the show in 2015 that i.o.i did called 16, that formed twice. Now she didn't make it. She got 9th place, didn't make it into the lineup. She went back into the company. 2016 was that Produce 101 happened, and she went on representing i.o.i Entertainment, which is usually what happens, and she made it to the lineup. Like I said, she got first place. She got to be the center of the group because she won first place, and she debuted. The group was active for like over a year and a half, I think it was, and then disbanded. They never were able to renew contract with them. They always try to do that. I think the first group that they were able to do that is Kepler, and I have my opinions on what the hell is happening with Kepler, but that's the only group that I've seen that were able to, you know, renew contract. Other than that, I don't remember that happening, but it didn't happen with i.o.i. Now in 2017, I did find out that she actually did sign a contract with i.o.i Entertainment, but it was mainly for her to be able to do solo activity and endorsements until she debuted solo or in a group. That's why we saw her more on shows like Sister Slam Dunk, which I love that show. I think they did 2 seasons. It was very fun, honestly, and she was more on TV and doing endorsements, of course. Helped people that follow her from i.o.i definitely kept being there and just waiting for her to have a comeback. But on August 2018, it was announced that she was going to leave i.o.i Entertainment, and then on September of that year was released that she actually signed with YG Entertainment label that they have called the Black Label, and that's when she started doing solo music in 2019. Now, before we get into her comebacks, let's talk a little bit more about the Black Label. I have heard of this company. I pretty much think people know about this company, honestly, but to tell you just basic stuff, it was founded in 2015 by Teddy Park and Kush. Now, when it comes to Kush, all I saw was that he released solo music or group music. I think he was in a duo, something like that. He was under the company, but then he left. But then people think he came back to the label on 2021 because there was a photo of him in the Black Label, so people thought he came back. Either way, he produces and writes a lot of the songs in the Black Label, and most of the song has been for artists under YG Entertainment. When it comes to Teddy Park, I feel like that's the person that mainly people know about, or at least you have heard his name when it comes to YG Entertainment. He has released music, I think, but he writes and produces a lot of the songs, not only in the Black Label but also on YG Entertainment and their artists. Most of them, YG Entertainment, I didn't see anybody outside of that company, so I think he just do songs for those artists, but I don't know. I saw the list very quickly, and most of the ones that I saw were YG Entertainment artists and the Black Label artists. So he produces a lot, but I do know the Black Label has a lot of writers and producers on them that are very well known, and they do tend to write a lot of the songs under their artists that are under YG and the Black Label. As for the artists that are under this company, they mainly got solo artists, which is very curious to me. From the ones that I saw was Vince, RT, Somi, Brian Chase, Taeyeon, and Rose. And for groups, they only got Mauve is a girl group. I think I'm saying their name wrong, but actually not too long ago I was making these notes and the news came out actually that the Black Label is apparently going to debut another group, and apparently it's going to be a co-ed. Now, I think they confirmed that they were going to debut a new group. I don't know if they confirmed that it was a co-ed one. Very surprised though, because there isn't that many co-ed groups in K-pop. The main one I feel like is KARD, but I think there's probably a couple more that I don't know about, but the main one that I know is KARD. So I'm surprised if it is a co-ed group that they are debuting it. We can start talking a little bit more about Somi, and I want to focus more on her comebacks now, so we're gonna talk about them. So she has been in this company since 2018, but she actually debuted on 2019. But still, you will think that because she has a huge popularity, her fan base is big and is excited for her to debut solo finally, something that never happened under YG Entertainment, the label will do a lot with her because they have seen fans excited and waiting for the debut. I'm going to tell you the music that she has released so far first, and we will go from there and keep talking little by little, okay? So like I said, she debuted on June 13, 2019 with a single called Birthday. I'ma shake it like you want my birthday. It is a very bubbly song, very her personality. It fitted her a lot, and I feel like at the beginning that song did cut a lot of mixed reviews because I think people didn't like the chorus mainly, but I also feel like it grew on people the more they heard it, and it got more popular within time, I feel like. Then on July 22, 2020, she released another single called What Are You Waiting For? Just tell me what you waiting for, baby, I've been waiting for. You want this time I'm faded, maybe I'm drunk and wasted. Tell me what you waiting for, baby, you already know just how I feel about you, but why you got me doubt you. Tell me who you waiting for. This one is definitely a different vibe than Birthday, but also that very fun, dancey type of a song, and I do feel people really like this one more than Birthday. August 2, 2021, she released another single called Dum Dum.
뺏기에서 춤춰 you dumb dumb. 난네 머리꽃 뺏기에서 춤춰 you dumb dumb. 마음까지 들었다는 듯은 결국 이게 다 널 위한 거야 dumb dumb dumb.
This one is different for sure from the other two. It is a little bit more, I mean, I don't know if mature is the right word, but there was definitely a more different vibe, a more serious vibe to it rather than a more funny kind of song, dancey type of a song. But still, I feel like they just wanted to show a different side of her, and it did got very popular with the public. Then October 29 of 2021, she released her first full album, and the title track was XOXO. Now this full album does include the past singles that she has released with a couple of new songs, and again this one is different. It's sort of like Dum Dum, but people really did like it as well. Then on August 14 of 2023, she released a mini album, and the title track was Fast Forward.
Fast forward.
I feel like out of all the songs that she has released, this one is the one that caught the most attention. Dum Dum and XOXO did, but I don't know, I feel like Fast Forward caught a lot of attention mainly because of the dance as well. People really loved it, and I feel like it was playing everywhere for me. Every time I found a playlist to like music to hear while I was writing notes or editing or anything like that, that song was always on the playlist. And then on December of 2023, she did release like a Christmassy song. It was called X-Max, and it was featuring Big Naughty. So again, it's just like a Christmas song that she released. And then on August 2 of 2024, she released another single called Ice Cream.
Yeah, I'm like ice cream, oh yeah, oh yeah. Got you wishing you could, you can try me, oh yeah, oh yeah. Only if you've been good, if you bite me, brain freeze, baby, maybe you should. I'm like ice cream, oh yeah, oh yeah. Only if you've been.
This one got mixed reviews from people from what I remember. They thought really didn't fit the vibe with the other songs. People were saying that it felt childish, and the dance actually, I remember, got a lot of criticism as well. But I feel like it still did good, but not as good as the other past songs that she has released for sure. So yeah, that's all she has released. Okay, when it comes to 2025, I haven't seen any news or anything. All I saw was that she released a collab with J Park. J Park released a song called Keep It Sexy Mama 2. It's like this other version of Mama. I don't know how to say it, but like he wanted to create another song that was like that one, and she is featuring on it. I saw a couple of videos of her performing the song live with J Park, and I've seen a couple of videos of her performing solo in other places. Usually this time there's a lot of performances in like universities, I feel like. And then I also saw that her fandom have a name. It is Somunchi. I think I'm butchering that, but it's a combination of her name and Munchi, which means bundle from what I saw, and it's meaning that her and her fans are together always. If you haven't noticed, there's two things here. One, most of her comebacks happen on the summer. Okay, that's totally fine. And two, it tends to be once a year, because besides of 2023 that she released a mini album and that Christmas song, which I don't know if to even count it, but I'm gonna count it anyway. Other than 2023, the rest is once a year. 2019, 2020, 21, 23. So essentially on 2022 she didn't release anything then, because I didn't see anything. And then 2024, which it was in August, so there's 2 months left until it is a year since her last comeback. And I have seen a couple of videos saying that the company takes a year to do a comeback for her, and that she gets a lot of support from the artists under the label, and you know, she likes it there, and that's great. You know, if she feels comfortable in that label and people are supporting her and all of that, that's amazing. Okay, but let me tell you what I think, because again, it's nice that she feels comfortable and she has that support and all that for everything. I think she even has a makeup line, I think, as well, which is nice. You know, again, the company is kind of letting her do what she wants to do, but it is too long for a comeback. It takes too long. I don't understand why a comeback for her takes a year if it's like that. And at some point it does feel like a comeback a year is hurting her popularity a lot and fan base, which is why I think it's not as big and as strong as before. Because it's okay, let me go little by little. I numbered the stuff that I was going to say. I'm not gonna stay too long in each one, but I number them. It's not that much, but here we go. 1, we have to talk about her comebacks first, because that is like the main thing. Because from what I have seen, is the thing that angers and frustrates the fan the most is her comebacks. Like I said, once a year, usually in the summer. It's fine if it's usually in the summer, but how about something else during the year? You know, whatever. Okay, I'm getting ahead of myself. So again, in her years of being active as a soloist, she has released only 7 things. You know, let it be single, mini album, full album. Now you might see that and think that's totally fine, but when you think that she has been active for like what, 5-6 years, and that she has had what, 7 comebacks, 6-7 comebacks, it's very little. Okay, I have seen artists right now, a lot of big group and soloists, that in a year of them being active, they release 2 mini albums or singles. Sometimes they even put a Christmas single in there to keep being active and to grow that fan base very quickly and very strong. With her, they didn't even need to do that properly, because she already has a huge fan base. They didn't have to go the extra mile that a lot of groups do during the first year to build that fan base very quickly. Her fan base is already there. She has been active since i.o.i. People love her. People have been waiting for her to debut solo and start releasing music and all of that. So it's not as if they needed to release 3 mini albums in that first year, but probably something more than once a year. Because the fan base is already there. They didn't have to go through that of building a fan base for her from the beginning. She already had a fan base when she went into the black label. They didn't have to go through that, which is what a lot of groups have to go through when they debuted. In the first year, they tend to release a lot to build up the fan base. They didn't have to do that with her. Her fan base was already there. So whatever thing they released, even if it got mixed reviews or not, it was going to do well, because her fan base is big. There's a lot of them. There's a lot of them that were excited for her to debut solo. And again, the fact that they take a year to make a comeback for her doesn't make any sense. There's a lot of good producers and writers under that company that I'm pretty sure can write music for her or something. Now, from what I saw, most of the songs that she has released, if not all of them, have been written by Teddy, which I feel that's why a lot of people kind of blame him a bit when it comes to why she doesn't release that many songs. I don't know if it is that only he's the one that writes songs for her. I don't know, but I have seen soloists be more active in a year than her, and it's very sad, because she gets to release one thing, she promotes it, she goes on music shows, do a couple of performances, and then done. You know, it's frustrating to see that she has a lot of potential and the company is doing anything with them. The other thing is that people do say a lot that the label is wasting her talent, okay, and her potential. And I agree with it for sure. Again, she's super talented. She is really good at performing live. If you see videos of her performing live, people really love it. People, you know, have fun, enjoy seeing her live. And you can tell that she enjoys being on stage as well and perform with the public and seeing her fans and all of that. And I feel like when i.o.i finished, her fan base was the biggest one out of all the members. I feel like they all had a pretty big fan base, but hers was I feel like the biggest one and also the most excited one when it comes to her debuting and starting to release music. Again, like I said, the whole point is to gather that fan base and debut them as quick as possible. She changed company, she went to a black label, fine. But I feel like her fan base is not as big as it was before. And the fact that the company that she's under is not doing anything to keep that fan base and give her more comebacks is just crazy to me that they're not doing any of that. This year alone, again, nothing has happened, no announcements, and she only had that collab with J Park, and that's all. And I'm guessing the comeback is going to happen in the summer, but nothing has been announced, and the label is debuting another group, so I don't think that's going to happen, which that ties up to another point, which is I don't think the label knows how to deal, how to promote, how to release music with a soloist. They probably know with groups, but not with a soloist fully. Now they do have a bunch of soloists. I should have checked how much music they'll have released since being on the black label to, you know, see, but still, I don't think they know how to manage soloists. Now they have Mauve, I'm butchering their name, I'm sorry. And I even feel like they have released a lot more when it comes to music. They have released a couple of singles and a mini album, and it's not even their first anniversary together as a group, which that alone is a lot more than what Somi released, honestly. So now that they're going to be another group and apparently it's going to be called, that means their focus is not on making that debut perfect, practice with them, all of that. They're focusing out on that. So Somi having a comeback this year, it might happen, yes, but I don't see it happening anytime soon, especially if that co-ed group or whatever group they're going to debut soon, you know, is gonna happen this year. I think they're focused not only on that. So again, this year alone, she doesn't have anything to release so far. Just performance that she has been doing. And again, the performances is with songs that she has released a few years ago. There's nothing new there for the fans. And of course the fans love it and they enjoy their songs. Of course they do. But it's not the same as performing new songs. She's not actually promoting anything new there. She's just performing songs that she has released a few years ago, and that is all. Another thing is her comebacks do get very mixed reviews from what I saw, and like I said, some people do blame Teddy because he does write a lot of the songs that she does as a title track and all of that. I feel like out of all the songs that she has released, Ice Cream was the one that got the most mixed reviews. People didn't really like the song, they didn't like the dance. Some even said that it felt very childish, and I feel like they haven't figured out her vibe, okay? YG is very hip-hop. The black label is also very hip-hop. They're all together, intertwined, just there together one another, okay? Somi really doesn't do that kind of music. The people that are on the black label, that's the main thing that they write hip-hop, because it's the vibe of the whole entertainment company and the sub-label and everything. She really doesn't do those kind of stuff. I think she released one that was kind of similar. I think it was gold something, I think it was. It was kind of hip-hop-ish. The past songs are not very hip-hop vibe. They're very different, and I don't think Somi kind of wants to go that route, and because of it, I feel like they don't know what to do with her. It's like the only thing that they write hip-hop, and now we got this soloist that kind of doesn't do hip-hop and wants to do something else, so they don't know how to write songs that will fit that vibe. They don't know how to create songs, produce songs that will, you know, fit a vibe other than hip-hop. So they're confused, and I feel like that's why it takes a year, because they haven't figured out properly what to do with her. What's her vibe? You know, you have Birthday and Ice Cream, that is a different kind of vibe from Dum Dum and XOXO. And even What You Waiting For, they're completely different vibes. And it is okay, like I usually say, it's fine for artists to explore and do different things, great. But Sumi is not really doing hip hop stuff under the black label. She's doing other stuff. It's just not what they're used to. So I feel like they don't know what to do. They don't know the vibe that they want to go with her. And also, I was very surprised when they released Ice Cream. It's very different from the other stuff they have released. It feels more fun. It feels more like Birthday. So I was like, huh, you're releasing this. Okay, it felt weird. Again, it's just they don't know what to do. There you go. They don't know what to do with her. They need to fully figure out what vibe and what they want to do with Somi and her music, what she wants to release, and then go from there. Now, while I was finishing like looking for stuff, I did find an article. I usually don't use this page, but I'm gonna use it because it does say a couple of things. But this was on April of this year, because there were a few announcements that the company said and people were very confused, honestly. But it does says an unexpected stream of announcements regarding Somi has sparked confusion and skepticism from netizens. There has been ongoing debate about Somi and releasing music, with many angry at her company, the Black Label, isn't giving her content comebacks like many other idols. Amid the criticism, the idol responded to a comment on her TikTok. This was something else that happened, that somebody put a comment on her TikTok talking about how the company is not giving her comeback, something like that, and she answered. I think she put something like active since 12 years old or something like that. But yeah, ouch, it was something, but I know it was talking about the comeback. If I find it, I'll put it here. And yet within 24 hours, netizens were shocked by an influx of announcements regarding Somi's idol career. There was an announcement of a final name, which is Somunchi, which I mentioned at the beginning. She has a light stick after years, and then details of a fan meeting in Korea and Japan. Following all the announcements, unsurprisingly sparked confusion, especially after Somi has not had active idol announcements or schedules in a while. Many hope it was signaling a change to the way Somi's idols activities were being organized. There was also skepticism, and then a bunch of comments on it on Reddit. I'll just put them here. I'm not gonna read all of them, but I'll put them here so you guys can read them. Lightstick, great. Okay, took forever though, but it's there. Fandom name, great. Fan meeting, great. It's also good. This feels like damage control. It got very dark because I think it's raining. It's as if they were seeing that they weren't doing anything with her, and people are talking about it. So to make people stop talking about it, they threw a bunch of things at you and be like, here, shut the fuck up. She has stuff to do there. That's technically how it feels, which I don't think is a good thing, and I feel it will just make fans more angry and frustrated at the label. You know what I mean? Like, this makes you think that she will have a comeback very soon, but the fan meeting, from what I saw, the first date is in June. I think it was June, no, July 19 is in Seoul, the first one. So June is about to be halfway, and there's nothing planned for her to release before the first fan meeting in Seoul was in July. So lately, updates and videos have been happening on the car. It's just easier to do that in my house. But as I was editing this, I just wanted to mention it very quickly. There is an announcement out that she's going to release a single on July, if I remember. I don't exactly know when I'm uploading this, but on July she's releasing a single. And you know, people are happy, but also I read somewhere that she might release an album on October. October is the month going around, so I don't know if it's true, but apparently that also is happening this year. So that's why people think that this single is sort of like a pre-release. But even though if it is a pre-release, usually when it's a pre-release like a month after, at most, is what I have been seeing, is that they release the full comeback. But a couple of months, still a lot. I'm guessing it's because they got that new co-ed group that is also debuting soon. They don't want it to like clash on time. That's what I'm guessing. But she's releasing new music after like a year at least of releasing nothing. And like I said, I'm pretty sure that it is because she has that fan meeting thing happening in August on those 3 places. Probably for her to have something to perform that is new there. And maybe she will release that mini album in October. I don't know. It is so quick. June is ending right now. Okay, there's only like a week left of June, and it is going to happen in July, like very quick. So teasers, photos, all of that concept things, they're gonna be like that posted quickly because they don't have that much time to like build it up, get fans excited about it. It's just, there you go and done. You know, so it feels like, here, do it so you have something new to perform a fan meeting, and we will see if this happens later on in the year. Very quickly, because I recorded this a while back, but the core group already debuted. I think it was in June. They're promoting, as far as I know, unless that is finished. They already won first place and everything, great. But I thought the group was going to be later on in the year. No, it was very quickly. And now Sumi's come back. And it's like everything, I said at some point it wasn't going to crash, but it's kind of crashing right now, because if the core group is still promoting while Sumi is having the comeback, which I don't think that's going to happen, but if it does, it's crashing. You know, like, people are paying attention to the co-ed group debut, Sumi doing a comeback. People are not going to pay too much attention to it. You know what I mean? It's just weird. It's crashing. I don't understand what they're doing. They distinguished her comeback between a debut that did very well. You know what I mean? It's just weird. I don't know. It feels as if they wanted this to happen just to give something to the fans before the fan meeting. You know what I mean? And it's so rushed. They barely had time to put teasers and stuff out. That is happening on July 7. Today is July 5 as I'm uploading this. You know what I mean? I don't know. I'm planning on reacting to it to see it and all of that, but it feels so rushed. I don't understand what they're doing. Just gonna be performing the same songs. There's nothing new. Again, people love those songs. Amazing. They're good. But people want to see new things. And unless you really see she performs unreleased songs, or maybe a comeback for a song in that fan meeting, what else are they gonna do? You know, like, people are just gonna be hearing the same things. And again, people love it, great, but still, it's the same stuff that she's gonna be performing. It's a fan meeting, so it is a different concept, but still, what else are they gonna do there? And then the other 2 days is on August. August 1 is Tokyo, and then August 3 is Osaka. So it's only 3 places as well. I mean, it's not a tour, it's a fan meeting, but still only 3 places, and that's all. This is the same. Again, I don't think they know how to manage multiple groups and idols, which is the same issue that I have with P Nation. They tend to focus on one group and forget about the rest. I feel like the Black Label kind of fits this as well, and I'm happy I'm having the same issues with them. Before the rain keeps getting worse, I'll see if I use this last clip, because the rain is just very bad. This is sad what is happening with her, okay? She has a lot of potential to be one of the biggest soloists in K-pop, and the label is not doing that. And I don't see it happening in the future unless there is like a hit song somewhere. But even then, because she has a hit song and then she goes dormant for like a year, they're never able to build it up. You know, everything goes down again, and then they have to start over. They're basically losing the momentum when it comes with her. She released a hit song, nothing else. Of course, everything's going to go down, and then another thing, hit song, and then it goes down. They don't keep it consistent with her because there's not as many comebacks for that to happen, and it just keeps going like that, and it doesn't let her shine, it doesn't let her show her full potential, and it's being wasted under this company. So we'll see what happens. Let me know in the comments below what you think. Do you agree? Do you think something else is happening? What do you think is happening with Jeon Somi? What do you wish it will happen with her? Do you want her to do a comeback this year? Let me know in the comments below. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope you're doing great, and I'm gonna see you on the next one. Bye.